Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Beastars Season 1, Episode 3. What happened last time?
Last time, we got a little bit more of how the school works, what's going on. We got introduced to some new characters. Nothing too major, but we saw the drama kids sort of, doing the costumes. We learned that the reason that they're not making a big deal about the murder was that no one really wants to talk about it because it is just super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And just the absolute, no one should have, this should never
it's
happen.
The taboo,
yeah. So that sort of makes sense with why everyone's seemingly just brushing it under the rug, And then we also had going to get flowers for the play, for the welcome back to school presentation kind of thing, and a naked rabbit.
Yes, stands before legosi. She got naked because, as you explained to me, she feels like this is what people always want. Like, she thinks that this is what he is wanting out of this situation. And that's why he's here in the first place. So, we're just gonna get into this. Hope you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out when you guys like the videos. And you get a week ahead on Patreon if you just can't wait, but you can subscribe to see the next episode. This is not Market Substitute. Check out Netflix. We ask you to support the official release. We're watching on Netflix. We provide some of the footage in these videos for context so that you understand our content, which is our reaction and our review. But this is not a free alternative for watching on Netflix. Go support the official release. Getting right into this. Beastars Season 1, Episode 3. Yeah, I think the end to that is like just illustrating his fear of like what he thinks he's gonna do. Is that the other Harlequin rabbit? Doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, it is him. Yeah, I fucked her too. Thinks he's all badass. Ah! Not quite what you were expecting. Someone else in the room? Super suspicious.
They're so tiny.
Yeah, people are real shitty in this high school. God damn. Sounds legit. Wait, what? Mongoose. Well, right now that's his leg, but infallible. I bet he's very vulnerable. He acts like a carnivore.
Why is everyone just
shitty? Everyone's shitty as fuck. Yeah. He's like the opposite of legosi. Legoshi's acting like a herbivore, he's acting like a carnivore. But on the inside, things are very different.
What's that skull all about?
That's because he's a Shinigami, he's death. He's playing the god of death. He's like watching his every move. He's like studying him. What is he trying to get from? Is he like pissed off that he's not using his yeah. He's pissed off that a carnivore, someone that he wants to be, is acting like a little piece of shit.
No, he's like flashing off his claws.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so yeah, well he's obviously jealous. Jesus, they're really going for the whole yaoi angle in this, aren't they? Get your fingers out of my mouth, you fucking psycho! What is the matter with you? Damn. For biology? It's like a physical? What is this?
Oh, just like a habitat that,
yeah.
that makes them
feel comfortable?
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, it's a moon. That's what his room is? Oh, there's other wolves. I thought wolves were extinct in Japan. I thought he was like the only one. 2D.
It's really I think that's a thing, isn't it? That's
yeah,
like
it's a Japanese thing, yeah. I really like that habitat thing. That's pretty cool. What is this feeling?
He's wagging his tail.
It's really interesting. It's fucking, I really want to see what that looks like.
It's bad. You should have gone.
You should have gone before. It might have been fine. But he doesn't want to get in a cast as the thing, and then... He's like walking in front of them like he's a fucking commander.
That incident.
Yeah, he doesn't even fully mention it, just that incident. How is this gonna go wrong, I wonder? Is he, though? Is he ready for the stage? I really like how they're using more 2D here in this episode. The Wounded Reaper. Ah! Ah! He is his leg is fucking throbbing by now.
Is he gonna pass out?
No. He's fucked. He'll be, after this, he'll be destroyed. Like, he won't be able to... That's the last time he'll see that. You made it, I guess. Welcome to your peak, because you couldn't... Is he dead? Good episode. That was a really good episode. Really good ending as well. The ending song was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think someone said that there are multiple endings in the show, and they like rotate through. I think, or like anyway.
Good episode. A lot of cool stuff there. A lot of really interesting. They're really developing like where they want the characters to go and everything. It's really, really cool, and I'm actually invested. It's actually really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing special about wolves being strong. I thought was a fucking cool line and really insightful. Because like, yeah, people want to see the triumph, and like if I was just myself, if I was just like the admirable, proud, strong carnivore, then who would care? Because like, you know, and that what they're saying there is really interesting, and I don't know, because there's a kernel there, and that's a really interesting line. I just don't. We'll have to see more to see how like what the greater point of that is, because if it's, you know, it seems like they're heading in a very like predestined, like, you know, your ability, your status is predestined, just like your failure and your, you know, what you are is who you are. You don't have a choice in it. Your path is laid out for you. So like if you're born a wolf, then you have it's like privilege, you know. I don't know. It's interesting. I can't wait to see where they take it, because it can be a very divisive. It's kind of like The Incredibles. It's like at the start of The Incredibles, when fucking Dash is like being put down for he's not allowed to use his power. He wants to play sports because he's better than everyone. He just is, because he was born like that, and he's being punished because. And he's forced to act out in class, and then his dad is just like, well, what, we're celebrating his 5th grade, like, graduation or whatever, this bullshit, when he just wants to, run wild. Anyway, that's a big rant, but, like, I like it. It's really cool. And they really, like, nailed home that whole interaction of Legoshi and Ruiz was really awesome in that office. Was really cool, I think. Yeah. I enjoyed that a lot.
I think Ruiz is a really interesting character because he's dislikable yet admirable at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, you don't like him, but you kind of understand, like...
You understand what he's trying to achieve, especially with this episode.
With this episode especially, but they kind of mentioned it before, of, like, him playing this role is iconic. This is a real statement here of a herbivore playing the god of death.
Yeah.
In this play, which it would normally be like it just is different, and maybe not what the drama club has done in the past, because the drama club is all about, they like to be all, oh, we're coexisting and we're really like in it together and we're building something together. But him taking on that role, I think we're meant to believe that is a real achievement, and is something that he really feels like he needs to prove to himself and to everyone else, that he is not inferior or weaker. And he says a lot of, like, oh, sometimes personality doesn't quite match how the body you were born in.
But it seems it's interesting that he says that, because they're both acting in antithesis of who they actually are deep down. Like, Legoshi is... Because, like, oh yeah, okay, so that's great. That it's kind of like, if you wanted to bring it to real life, it's like representation. It's like these people who are marginalized in the past are now getting a chance to be on the stage. And then, like, where Legoshi is there is, it's like, okay, well then what about him? Like, what about, where does he go from there? And I mean, there are ways to interpret that pretty badly if you want to bring it into the real life. Into real life with like real life representation of different people who are marginalized. It's speaking purely of the story. It's like, get the spotlight and to show both sides, and to it is a big triumph.
Herbivores aren't known for being super aggressive, and it seems to be like because they associate Legoshi's personality with being a herbivore is like, oh, you're very reserved. And when the bunny, what is her name?
I think Hal.
Hal?
It says that here.
Yeah, Hal. When they say, oh, she's even worse than a carnivore, with, like, what she's doing, like, oh, that doesn't quite sit well with me, because she's not acting like I would have expected someone of her looks to do. So there seems to be exploring a lot of expectations. Yeah. And society's Destiny. Expectations, running away from what you are, or just being different from what you look like, from what other people perceive you as. And maybe there's something of, like, the differences there of, really pretending and putting up a face because you don't want to be associated with what you are, or just trying to be different, or trying to be better, or trying to prove them wrong. Yeah. Or I don't know, there's really a lot of themes going on here, and I think different characters are going to explore that in different ways. It's
really cool. It's really, I haven't seen an anime tackle it quite like this, of, like, it's really interesting the way that they're going about this. They're showing, like, both sides of this type of story, where, yes, the underdog, it's important for people who are put down to get a chance to be able to tell their story, to be able to live equally amongst everyone. That is extremely important. But there's also a sacrifice for the people who are at the top before. Is they like, what is there a way to mitigate a sacrifice on both sides where people don't have to be marginalized, but is it inevitable that a sacrifice has to be made? It's just interesting the way that they're going with this, because, like, Legoshi yeah, people don't look at carnivore like it's clear that carnivores had to give up eating meat, which obviously it's bad that because the meat they were eating were other people. So yeah, it's obviously he has to give that up, but he can't deny his nature. It's within him to do that. So is there a way that he could find a way to not eat people and live in society while also not, giving up all of what he is as a carnivore?
Yeah, and then there's also that other thing when he's looking at the moon and he's seeing Hal like up in the moon and being like, that was the first time I was treated like a guy, you know, and not just like a big scary carnivore or like a shy weakling or whatever, because he doesn't seem very well respected necessarily. Like if he was very confident, like very bold, and he was a wolf as well, just given his size, his stature, and if he like if he was that way in his life, he would probably be quite respected amongst other students for being just whoa, look at him, he's so confident and so great. But the carnivores seem to not really like him as much because he's not really one of them. And then the herbivores are kind of like, I mean, we're cool with you, but like there's still
their
like something in the way.
Be like, I don't want to be alone with you. Yeah. And it's interesting because like it also shows the like, if you're like how when Ruiz is like jealous, like he's jealous of it, and that's part of what's driving him. It's part of the resentment and jealousy that he isn't naturally gifted with the same gifts that Legoshi has, and that Legoshi is not using them. He's like, when are you going to like be who you are? If I was in your body, I would conquer the entire fucking world. Why are you squandering the station that you were born with? And he's just like, well, fuck, what do you want me to do? Part of that is eating people, and like, there's both sides. They're showing both sides to that whole equation, and it's really interesting. It's really cool. It's awesome. And now that fucking Ruiz is probably never going to be on stage again, is he going to have like, because that's the thing. It's like Legoshi is learning. Okay, so Legoshi is like, he's caged his natural instincts up and who he like is innately, and like is trying not to succumb to his destiny because part of his destiny is bad, but he can't deny that's within him. He needs to find a way to live with that, and he'll be better for it because he can use that negativity and that hatred and that like instinct to kill and all that shit. He can use that for good and as a positive force. So that's what he needs to do, because there's a weird like entanglement of things are reversed, and he's got to like find a way to, live in the world productively. Whereas, Ruiz is in a position where he is also rebelling against what he is naturally, and that's a good thing. But the world is really pushing against that rebellion, and he's being forced to go back to being like to succumbing to his like nature as a herbivore.
I guess the other thing is
can he break through that with like is the more he
can
tries
he but is the way he's going like is just speaking of like purely he has a physical injury and his body is not meant to be able to withstand such an injury. Whereas potentially a different animal might have better healing skills because they were adapted to that, whatever. But that's not the way deer are. So him not addressing that is also, he's also not addressing that weakness is part of him. But it's catching up to him regardless. So it's kind of actually the same story either way of denying that part of you, but it still is catching up to you at an inopportune moment.
Exactly.
Because if he had hurt his ankle and then immediately went to the doctors, and he would be able to get fixed, and he wouldn't have had this extremely great moment potentially, or it would have been different or not as good, whatever. But he would have been able to keep trying in the future, or keep doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? And I mean, he still may be able to do that, but it seems like something is like his leg is absolutely
fucked. At this point.
It's bad. So yeah, I guess I'm not sure where I'm going with that, but
well, I think you went there. We went to the same place where it's like they're both fighting against their destiny. But destiny, quote unquote, they're fighting against their like natural tendencies as like animals, but they're
without
accepting it. They're denying what they really are while trying to strive for something better, without realizing that part of becoming better is accepting who you are and using that to your advantage rather than trying to be something you're not. That's what it is. And that's the story. The problem is they're at cross purposes because what they want directly conflicts with each other. Mm-hmm. So it's well, not directly, because there's more going on with Legoshi where he is interested in Hal, but it's different as far as what the world is trying to do, like trying to they're like they it's kind of funny. They're like in the cafeteria. It's out of necessity, but they're like trying to make everyone live harmoniously with carnivores and herbivores, but they're segregated. Like they're straight up the herbivores are over here, like where they're getting food. They showed it, and then the tree was like separating it in the middle. Just the way they framed that up, it's just, I don't know. It's really interesting that how they're choosing to tell the story and like showing all different sides of it and everything. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and so we found out that everyone in the drama club was specifically chosen to be in there based on some sort of secret or like flaw that they have in their past.
I guess, yeah.
Like some sort of like something that sets them apart from everyone else, I guess would be a better way to put it. Mm-hmm. So that, and then it's like, oh, what's your secret? And then he's like, my secret. What's his secret? Mm-hmm. Of just like, once you kind of know that, then you start to look at other people in the club a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can think of why I'm here, but why are you here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. An interesting thing to add into the story, I would say.
They're saying a lot of interesting things, but it's rough because you could be taken the wrong way. Like you could, it's so like, yeah, it's crazy. I want to see where they go with it and like because they're setting up a lot of like different questions and like different ways to look at the world and a lot of they're really setting the stage here, but eventually it's going to have to come to a point of like, this is the answer, and this is how you negotiate like all of these different things and is there a way to make everyone happy, or is the conclusion going to be they're somebody's got to be on top, somebody's like and it's kind of dismal and like kind of shitty in that way? Is that going to be the answer? Is there going to have to be a loser, or are they going to find a way to compromise and make everybody live in peace in a way that doesn't like completely fuck over people like Legoshi, who are gifted, but
or the other way either, like
or the other way, or like because there's downside. Like if there's gonna be one winner, then that means that
there's a loser.
There's going to be a loser. Is there a way to make everybody happy without putting people like Legoshi in a cage in the corner of his mind and forcing him to deny himself, or forcing fucking Ruiz to like have to strive with everything he has at the detriment of his body in order to reach the heights of someone like Legoshi could do if he really tried, at the detriment of him? It's like, is this cycle going to break? It's
a really toxic world that they're living in, actually. It's super toxic, like the whole, we need more stuff for our paper, and then she's just like, well, just wait, because just getting a good picture of him isn't good, getting a bad picture of him is better.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
is that what you want to say? Okay, alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna move on to episode 4. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye. Thank you to all of our patrons, especially those in the Student Council:
Zenge,
John Ortega,
Aurora,
Lewis,
Christian Bay,
Kage Uzumaki,
Dreadful XR,
Xiao Lao,
Brian,
Handicap Bonkai,
D23L,
Charles Liu,
Jude Caspino Buford,
Nick Psycho,
Michael Wells,
King Mr. Mew,
Rifleman Z51,
Thelmus Celetius,
Brandon Bruce,
Yankee,
Vanonian,
Yuki Ali,
Mord Tarragon,
Josh Carey Gray,
Jordan Agnew,
Lolly Convict,
Redacted,
Zachary Porth,
Mohammed Burnham Ahmed,
Michael E. Zabel,
Callum Forsyth,
Nicholas Woody,
Soma Yukahara.
Dogs Free.
It's your boy Dom.
Christian Nielsen.
Phantom.
Quant Tuggle.
Proyectos Informatica.
Sugar Daddy Alex.
Tara.
Hunter Wayne Germany. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one.